Hello and welcome to the ScatterVolt channel, and today we're going to be building the worst gaming PC you can possibly build in 2024. I wasted $764 of my own dollars to bring you guys this PC that you shouldn't build, because I want this video to be one big learning lesson on what PC parts to avoid when either putting together a custom PC for the first time, or red flag PC parts you should avoid if you're considering buying a pre-built that could feature one of these problematic PC components. Now, is this the slowest PC you can build? Obviously not, but this is one that just makes very poor use of the budget, and unfortunately I see a lot of people, especially on Amazon, accidentally buying these parts without doing any proper research, and more or less you can definitely build a better $764 PC than this. So with that said, do not click on the PCbuilds.gg link in the description that has the link name called "Do not build this PC" for obvious reasons, but you may want to click on the PCbuilds.gg logo at the top of that webpage and then browse all of the other much better PC build lists you should actually consider across different price ranges and uses versus this, which is the worst PC you can possibly build. So with all that said, let's get started. Oh my, wait. That right there is what a $36 case weighs. Nothing. Anyways, like I said, I did legitimately spend $764 of my own dollars to bring you guys this build. So if you want to help out, all you got to do in return is like this video. I mean, yeah, I'm just showing you guys what not to do when building a PC. I think that's enough. But either way, enough grifting for likes. So to build this PC, you're gonna need a pair of scissors, a banana, and so for the processor, and the worst processor you should consider using in 2024, yes, it's a new Ryzen one. It is the Ryzen 5 8400F. Now, why on this planet am I using this? Because this is not the slowest CPU, but it is just objectively a very terrible CPU to get, and not a good move by AMD to really bring this to the market. So in a nutshell, if you look at benchmarks with this CPU, it loses to a last generation Ryzen 5 5600. What the heck? I mean, come on. Why is that though? That is because the 8400F is in the in-between architecture of Ryzen 7000 and 9000. And this more or less is the APU generation. So if you're familiar, there's the 8600G, 8700G, and the 8500G. And the 8400 is a derivative of the 8500G, just without integrated graphics. And the core layout of this CPU is a little bit awkward, and it comes with half the L3 cache of, say, a 7600 or 7500F. Yet this costs about, actually it still costs more than a 7500F on AliExpress. And my worry is that people are gonna look at this CPU and be like, oh, it's the cheapest Ryzen AM5 CPU on the market, and the AM5 socket is the best thing since whatever the best thing was, and I'm obviously gonna get it. No, this thing is objectively bad and slower than a previous generation budget CPU from AM4. For 170, it is not good, and do not pair it up with a cheap B650 motherboard. Once again, I feel like people, when they think of building a budget gaming PC, they go straight to choosing the cheapest components because that'll do them well, but then it's gonna bite you later down the road when you need to upgrade anything and you find out that your really cheap motherboard can't support the processor you wanna put in it to upgrade from whatever the heck this is. And there's a lot of very cheap, inexpensive B650 motherboards out there, not just from ASRock, but also from Gigabyte, Asus, and MSI that have fairly mediocre VRMs that do not do the best job at cooling off, say, a 16-core CPU. Yes, I get it, that may be overkill for a budget B650 motherboard like this, but I like to think we want to cover off as many future possible CPU upgrades. That way, if you were maybe in the weird spot where you wanted to put in a 12 or maybe 16-core CPU into one of these budget motherboards, you at least want it to not throttle on 100% load in any CPU-based and rendering applications. So don't do it. Just spend the extra, say, $20 or $30 to get a much more respectable B650 motherboard that can actually handle one of those higher end Ryzen CPUs. It's just much better spent for your money. Anyways, don't read the manual, because none of you guys read nowadays, and you don't need this. Now, what is the worst SSD you can possibly get? Well, it's not the slowest, but it is currently the 4th best selling SSD on Amazon, and it absolutely shouldn't if you're a PC gamer. I mean, maybe people just need it as a scratch drive, but I see a lot of pre-built PCs using this specific SSD as their boot drive, and that is very much a crime. This is the Kingston NV2, and kind of like what I said for the motherboard, this is a bottom bin item in its category. This is a very cheap M.2 SSD, and the main crux of it is that it is DRAM-less. It is DRAM-less. A lot of the SSDs you see me recommend in my PC build guides and on PCbuilds.gg come with a DRAM controller, which is much better for preserving the read and write speeds of your boot drive or your SSD over time. And if you don't have a DRAM controller, that's really gonna hurt, I think, the longevity of this SSD over time, because as it fills up, it is going to get slower and slower. So for literally only like $10 to $15 more, you can get an SSD with a DRAM controller. And I feel like a lot of people still think this thing's okay because it has fast read and write speeds, but that shouldn't hide up the fact that it doesn't have a DRAM controller, which for a gaming PC, for a boot drive, it absolutely needs one, in my opinion. Also, in my opinion, Corsair RAM isn't necessarily bad. They aren't. It's just this specific SKU is, and it's also, once again, very cheap. This is a 16 gigabyte DDR5 kit of RAM that runs at 5200 megahertz, but with a cache latency of 40. And this is also one of the best selling SKUs, I think, on Amazon and Newegg because it's cheaper than 32 gigabytes. And people don't know that having a fast speed of RAM needs to have low cache latency. And although this runs at 5200 megahertz, its cache latency is very high. It's CL40. Also, when it comes to DDR5 RAM, 32 gigabytes is the standard because you can get 32 gigabyte kits of DDR5 RAM for only about $20 more than a 16 gigabyte kit of RAM. So you're getting double the memory for not that much more. But again, I feel like people will fall victim to this because they'll see it's 16 gigabytes, it's cheaper than 32, and they're like, oh, it runs above 5,000 megahertz. That must obviously mean it's good. But it's not. There are considerably better RAM kits that run at much better speed to cache latency ratios, like 6,000 megahertz to a cache latency of 30, but like I said, only about $20 more, and they come with double the capacity. Now we're gonna install all of these very terrible components onto the motherboard. All right, so don't remove this lever, don't pull this open, don't line up the triangle on the top left with the triangle on the top left of the socket. Don't drop this in gently. As a matter of fact, we'll literally drop this, literally. We'll try that again. Nope. We'll try that again. Nope. Okay, so really dropping it doesn't work, so we're just gonna actually put it in gently. There we go. Then we're gonna put this down. We're gonna close down this lever. And unfortunately, we actually need this thing to work, so we gotta take off these two black plastic brackets. And what we wanna do is not even use these anymore. And yeah, we're actually gonna use the stock cooler on this one, but hear me out. I see so many of you in the comment section say, where's the thermal paste? Where's the thermal paste? Now, if I'm being real with you, you probably just skip over the part where I say there's literally thermal paste that comes on the stock cooler. But once again, to address you guys who want thermal paste, by all means, because it's not like thermal paste comes with everything, you know? Because you buy any stock CPU cooler or aftermarket and it's gonna come with thermal paste no matter what. We're gonna apply thermal paste because we just have to. It's just crazy. And we're gonna do a little circle right here like that, because circle is the most optimal way to apply our thermal paste on top of our existing thermal paste, because as I said earlier, we always need thermal paste. It is the most sacred and most like vital necessity there is when it comes to building a PC. You know? And we're just gonna go ahead and drop this in. See, do we want it on this side over the RAM? Yeah, I think we do. And I'm gonna go ahead and completely screw in one side of the CPU cooler all the way. Look at that gap. Clearly that was the right thing to do. Let me see if I can fix it. Oh yeah, look at how that motherboard bends, dude. Actually, crap, I can't even get this. Okay, now I'll actually screw this in. Oh, there we go. Look how easy that was. When I completely screwed in one side of the CPU cooler, man, that was easy. And now we're gonna put in the memory and the SSD. Oh yeah, I gotta plug this thing in, I forgot. All right, so when it comes to installing our DDR5 RAM, again, these are different lengths. This is only gonna go in one way. And unfortunately on this motherboard, we're only given 2 slots. So even the dumbest person alive can't mess this up, or else they'd literally be the dumbest person alive. And yeah, we're gonna put this in one slot at a time. There we go. And oh man, we have the cooler is in the way, but that will not stop me. Never mind, this is gonna stop me. Wait, I think I'm getting yet another YouTube comment that is asking, what about thermal paste on a PC build, where I clearly say the cooler already comes with thermal paste pre-included. We have to apply more thermal paste. There we go, even more thermal paste. And we will put this in, click it, and we'll put this cooler now in the right orientation with the logo on the other side. Okay, now where should we put our objectively bad M.2 SSD? Well, we could put it here where it says blazing M.2, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and put it in hyper M.2. I mean, it looks a little bit less, you know, blazing. It looks a little more safe. So I'm gonna be like that kind of guy. And then I'm gonna take my little baggie right here, open this thing up, drop this thing in, push this down, screw this in. See, is that it? I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, so for the case, we are going with this ATX case from a company called GameMax. Now, I will say there aren't necessarily any bad PC cases out there. There's just unoptimal PC cases to get. But I really had to dig hard to actually find a case that was objectively bad. So more or less what this case here represents is people who go way too cheap on their PC cases. They think that going with a really cheap, inexpensive PC case is gonna save them that like last few dollars that'll let them squeeze in some kind of whatever, like a better processor or graphics card, but at the expense of choosing a case that'll eventually turn into e-waste because it won't have the thermal capacity to support any better components in the future that are going to require more fans and more cooling, especially if the case like this has a flat front right here. Where is your fans gonna breathe, bro? This little slot right here? These flat front PC cases are so limiting, but it gets worse in this case. Now, one thing I will have to actually be like kind of stumped about right now is that apparently this is a tempered glass side panel for a $36 case. So I will have to give credit to this case for that, but there are a lot of cheap PC cases that use acrylic glass, and acrylic glass is cheap. I can't believe this thing did not shatter. Be cool, be gamer. Yeah, this is a top mounted power supply. I don't like that because, you know, heat rises and you kind of want exhaust fans to, you know, let the heat escape. But you've got a big fat PSU chamber on top instead of on the bottom. Oh my, even the bottom doesn't have cutouts for fans. So you're telling me you can only fit 3 fans in this case. You can fit one here on the side and you can only fit 2 in the front. But if you look closely, like where are the fans gonna breathe? Oh my goodness. Okay, check this out. I thought this was perforated mesh. It's not, it's a carbon fiber texture. There's literally no airflow in this case actually. But it's got RGB though. Who needs an IO shield anyways? We don't need it. Let's go ahead and install the motherboard. So if we stick our hand right here, we've got our little baggie, very small baggie of all the screws we need to put the motherboard and anything else we want into this PC case. Wow, what a presentation. And you know, I gotta give GameMax some credit because although this is clearly listed as an ATX mid-tower PC case, it only has standoffs for micro ATX motherboards. And I think if you were to fit a full-sized ATX motherboard, I don't know how you'd be able to route cables to the IO because there's nothing down here. How would that, are you telling me you'd put everything here and it like wrap around here? That would not be comfortable. Also, what isn't comfortable? This thing right here. So this controls the RGB for this single included case fan. And I mean, for my own sanity, actually no, screw my sanity. We're keeping this thing plugged in and we're just gonna go ahead and see if we can fit it behind the motherboard tray like this. Anyways, we're just gonna go ahead and drop this thing in. Does it line up? It actually does. Cool. Excellent. Now we go ahead and start screwing in. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take some screws and just start screwing them in, you know, all the way as well. It's not like you wanna, you know, partially screw in each screw across each side of the motherboard. That way you put equal pressure on all sides of the motherboard. Now let's just go ahead and screw in all the screws completely. Let's fully tighten down this motherboard because gosh darn it, we gotta do it. There you go, that one's fully tightened. We haven't even put in any of the others other than one. My IQ is dropping as I build this PC. Yep, we're gonna fully tighten that one. I think this is great life advice. Anytime you get a screw and there's multiple threads, just screw the whole thing in completely. Wow, and look at that. We are done. Actually, no, we're not done. Here's the fan header for this one included case fan right here. There should be like a fan header right here, but it's taken up by the M.2 slot. We're given one right here, and yeah, another one right there. This is the objectively best place to put it, but I'm a Dumbo. I'm gonna put it down here. Who cares if there's gonna be a graphics card here? It really doesn't matter. And for the power supply, we're going with the Thermaltake Smart 600 watt 80 plus white power supply. This is one of the best selling power supplies on Amazon and Newegg. And all I gotta say with a power supply like this that costs only $40 is that, spoiler alert, you're gonna see this a lot in pre-built computers. Pre-built companies love to cheap out on their power supplies because they like to make profit. Whereas, you know, if you built your own PC, you could have control over your components, which would make them, you know, substantially better value. But more specifically, there's a very helpful website called PSU Cultists, and there they rank a bunch of power supplies based off how good they are. And one of Amazon's best selling power supplies that is also one of its cheapest happened to be F tier. This thing is not good. It's very cheap. It's bottom bin, which once again is why pre-built companies love to use cheap power supplies. Okay, but wattage wise, 600 watts is enough for this build. Who cares? What's gonna be interesting though is putting this thing in here. I have not done a top-loaded PSU build in like 8 years. That's how long it's been. I'm gonna have to top load this thing. You ready for this? Oh my, that is so cursed. Let me screw this thing in and show you guys what this looks like. There's our bomb. We planted it. Is it now time to start like plugging everything? The power cables and the IO cables? It might be. Okay, so what you don't want to do is to not use your brain and to not actually, you know, read the motherboard manual where it tells you where to plug in each of these things. Because, you know, who likes to read anyways nowadays? Everything is so fast paced in today's society and attention spans are so low, people don't even care to read anymore. They want to get their quick fix, so, you know, they'll totally skip over important things like a motherboard manual when building their PC, which I think is an absolute necessity. You gotta know it. But you know, we're building a PC like this, so who matters? I think I plugged this thing into this. I want to say it looks right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And what's this? Another USB thing? I think it goes right here. I don't know. If I read the motherboard manual, I'd probably know, but I'm impatient. I want things quickly. Man, don't you love top-mounted power supply cases? I do, and that's why we're gonna plug this thing in from the very top, like that. Is that even going in? I think so. I mean, there's not even front fans in this case, so who cares about this gargle of cables right here? This right here is our CPU power connector, which hopefully I assume you didn't mess this up with the PCIe power connector down here, which is for your graphics card. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and plug this in right here at the top. Oh man, the cable management is superb. Let's go ahead and plug in the graphics card. This right here is the best selling graphics card on Amazon, and it is a scam. The RTX 3060 12GB is an outdated graphics card that somehow over 4,000 people a month, according to Amazon US, are falling victim to every month because it's a 60 series card, and because it's a 60 series card, it automatically means it's good. It's not anymore. The days of the excellent GTX 1060 and the RTX 2060 are no longer. The RTX 3060 was a graphics card that came out with the wrong specs at the wrong time, and the RTX 4060 is a very underpowered graphics card that even has less VRAM than this one. But the issue with this one is that it's just plain slow. Let me give you guys a rundown. But now you may be asking, but wait, the 3060 isn't that bad. Okay, then tell me why. A 6700 XT, which is the same performance as a 3060, destroys the 3060 for the same price. That doesn't make sense. Oh, but it's got 12 gigabytes of VRAM. That's good for future-proofing, especially for $300. Okay. Then why does the 7600 XT come with 16 gigabytes of VRAM for almost the same price? And it's faster as well. Oh, but it's an NVIDIA card. It's got DLSS. It's superior in so many ways because it's got DLSS and ray tracing. Okay. Then why does the 4060 cost the same and it comes with frame generation? Even NVIDIA, withheld that frame generation technology from RTX 3000. I've just systematically proven every reason why you shouldn't consider the 3060 in 2024. It is still massively overpriced. It is last generation. And like I said, it's still selling like hotcakes. And according to the Steam user survey, this is the #1 most popular graphics card, and it really shouldn't be. Just because it's a 60 series card doesn't mean it's necessarily a bargain value graphics card anymore. Times have changed. For Nvidia, those graphics cards get way more worth it the more you spend. It's kind of the opposite nowadays. So for all of those reasons and more, on top of being a slow AF graphics card, it is going in our worst gaming PC you can build in 2024. And I wanted to make sure I got the exact graphics card, the exact one that is literally moving 4,000 units a month. I wanted to get the exact one. Yeah, this thing, great. Let's put it in here. Okay, Game Max, what the heck is this? So we unscrew this. There we go. That's through. This case is so cheap, they don't even bother to let you unscrew these. You have to literally rip them off. Let's see, so the topmost one, oh, this doesn't even have a screw. How the heck? What the heck do? Do you press on this or something? Is this old school? Am I actually too young for this? Oh, okay, there we go. You just flip that thing out. We need to get another one of these out. Flimsy, let's just stick this thing in here. There we go, I don't know, just throw it in there like a Lego piece or something like that. Oh, see, is that through? Yeah, okay. Oh. We're out of case screws. We're actually out of case screws. What? We need another case screw. Okay, we're gonna be missing one screw for our graphics card here. There we go. And let's put whatever the heck this thing is back on. Cool, we got that. Yup, let's just plug this thing right in. And wha-bam, we are done building the worst PC in 2024. But will it actually turn on? If it does, I don't wanna see any more comments saying, oh my God, if I try to build a PC, I'm gonna mess it up. I've almost done everything wrong you'd wanna do when building this. And if it still boots on, then you're just, I don't know, skill issued in the head. Let's see if this works. In goes our Windows bootable media device. And we're gonna flick the switch to the 1. We're gonna press the power button. Everything might explode. Oh, and look at that. Through the power of editing, this computer now works. We totally didn't have to do a BIOS update because the motherboard couldn't support Ryzen 8000 CPUs out of the box, which is all the more reason why you wouldn't want to consider Ryzen 8000 CPUs in the first place, unless you're gonna get an APU. But yeah, let's go ahead and install Windows and get to gaming as soon as possible. Okay, so we obviously all want to know how well Fortnite runs on the worst gaming PC ever, but let's see what the game automatically assigns us as far as graphics settings go. I am curious. This PC also has been kind of unstable. Like the Wi-Fi sometimes cut in and out because I have to use a Wi-Fi dongle right here connected over USB. Starting up this PC is kind of a pain every time. I think that's honestly due to the SSD. It takes a little bit longer than a typical SSD. Okay, and there's 2 mice on my screen. I could care less. Everything's blacked out. I'm being serious, none of my other previous computers have given me a hold up like this when launching anything. This one though. Is it the NVIDIA Shadow Play? Every time I hit Alt-Z, I get the mouse back. And look, everything's taking forever to load. Nothing's popped up. Okay, do we dare try to run Fortnite? Oh my, we're gonna do 0 build. Let's see what happens. What graphics settings did the game set us at? Dude, the mouse is giving out. The mouse is actually giving out. 1920 with 1080p. Oh, you can go higher than that. Even Fortnite's gonna be easy. We'll do DirectX 12. Yup, TSR medium. Epic settings for everything. Yeah, we'll just try on Reflex, because why not? We don't want to use ray tracing. Not right now, not in these parameters. Let's go. Let's play this damn game. Okay, let's pray. Let's all see if this doesn't look abysmal when we get in. Oh, it's frozen. It's absolutely frozen. This thing is struggling. I don't know why. Oh my. Oh, the mouse though. The mouse. It just keeps going in and out. Oh, this is gonna be atrocious. Oh, this ain't running too hot right now. See, it's running smooth, but okay. Yeah, see the mouse? Look at the mouse. I changed the batteries on it too because I noticed the mouse was lagging. I'm seeing some micro stuttering. Oh, no, guys. Just friggin' let me play this godforsaken game. There we go.
It's lagging. Oh, I hear somebody. Oh my God, wait, but I got lag on my side. I got lag on my side. I got lag on my side. You know what? I don't want to deal with this guy. Fortnite, the Fortnite gameplay is not over just yet. Just let me just at least show how poorly this PC runs this game, please. The mouse. You know what? This might actually be the best gaming PC because the lag is literally helping me out. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can't hit me because I'm just moving all over the place right now. Yo, let's go. Oh, did I hit him? I did. Okay, we're gonna anticipate the lag. Nope, we did not anticipate the lag. We got one hit though. What is this promoting? We've stopped. Oh! Guys, oh look, he's already building. He's already building. Did I kill? What? Whoa, I killed somebody. Whoa! The mouse is not freaking working. It's the only PC I've had an issue like this before. Nah, man, it does not matter. Build whatever walls you want. What? Oh, I didn't expect that to happen. You know, I'm gonna rock the gloves. Excuse me? Oh man, I can't believe. Oh yeah, you're done. You're done, man. You gotta anticipate the lag. Anticipate the lag. Anticipate the lag. Anticipate the, oh! Come on. Yes! Yeah! Yo, that is hardcore. The lag, the mouse, it don't stop. All right, give me another one. I don't care. We've exploited the game with how terrible. Oh yeah, no, let's go. Let's go. Give me some bodies. That was the most fun I've ever had playing Fortnite. That was the most fun. I want to see another game and see how bad it runs on this PC. All right, I gotta know Starfield. I have to know it. This is probably still one of the most difficult games to run. And I think it's even more worsened because, you know, NVIDIA did a fantastic thing and made their DLSS 3.0 frame generation only available to their RTX 4000 graphics cards, which means we have to use FSR 3, which in all honesty, it's catching up to DLSS 3. Whatever the current version is on. But how many of you NVIDIA users are comfortable using AMD frame generation technology? Ooh, that has to like make you sick to your stomach or something like that. Either way though, I'm gonna leave it on because we're probably gonna need it. And once again, my mouse is being kapoop, but we've got low settings on most of this. We do have NVIDIA reflex. I'll go ahead and turn that on. Let's see what the heck kind of frame rate we get. All right, we're in space. Mouse seems to be responsive. Oh my good, we're getting a really good frame rate though. That's actually pretty nice. Oh, you can see the blockage around the aircraft. Let's go ahead and exit the ship. This is, by the way, a 1080p. Oh, okay, and the mouse seems to be working. Let's go ahead and crank up the graphics settings though, because they look like kapoop. Let's try Ultra. With frame gen, we're getting about 45. That's okay. Oh, whoa, no. What happens though if we turn off frame generation? What is this game actually being ran at without any tricks? About the same? Oh no, it's less, it's less. I'll go and leave frame generation on though. Oh yeah, we get about an extra 30 FPS, nice. I'll say this, Starfield actually is running all right. All right, we're gonna just blitz this guy. Oh, hit, yes. Hit. Oh yeah. This isn't the best way to run Starfield, I'll say that. You could clearly build a much better PC than this. All right, I think we'll take out a few more of these guys. We'll try one more game. Okay, this last game we wanted to try is Cyberpunk. I just want to see what graphical settings we're given at 1080p on this PC. We are given 1920 by 1080. Of course, that's why I have the resolution set to. Ray tracing low. DLSS super resolution. No frame gen though. Where's the frame gen? So we just have basic ray tracing turned on with local shadows. Path tracing, if we turn it on, if we turn that on, it's game over. Ray tracing low, you know, let's see what happens. Okay, the frame rate isn't that bad. Oh, you can tell. What kind of DLSS do we have? Hey, whoa, I just moved up here. Yeah. Chill. What I wanna know is what kind of quality is our DLSS set to? Auto? Yeah, let's do like quality because I could definitely tell there's some fuzziness around. Oh, even that is it. Yeah, that's better. No, just don't mind me. There's a bike right there, I'll take it. As usual. Quality, what if we went higher than that? Like ray tracing medium. This PC should be able to do it because it has a 3060, right? We're getting about 60 at 1080p. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and take this bike. We're gonna drive around the city. I will say this, if you look at the frame times, we're not getting any spikes. So this is quote unquote smooth. I don't think the game looks particularly impressive either because admittedly we have ray tracing turned on. What happens if we turn it off? Let's go to Ultra. This should be able to run Ultra with DLSS. Yeah, there's no more ray trace shadows anymore. Frame rate's higher. But the game doesn't look, we need ray tracing. It's Cyberpunk. You gotta have ray tracing on. Ray tracing medium, yeah. That's about right on this PC, I wanna say. We're getting just about 60 FPS, although we do need the help of not frame generation, but standard DLSS. I mean, it runs Cyberpunk, but you would clearly build a way better PC than this and get much more performance, even in ray tracing with a Radeon graphics card. Because a newer generation RX 7000 card is going to have much better ray tracing performance than RX 6000, so it's probably gonna be on par, if not slightly better than RTX 3000. But yeah, I rest my case. Let's close out the video. I'm glad this video is almost over, but stay with me. I wanna tell you the reasons why this is such a bad PC to build objectively for gaming. First of all, I think noticeably that SSD choice, the Kingston MD2, definitely was a bit slower than what I've worked with in the past for other M.2 SSDs. For one, the actual boot cycle of turning on this PC and getting to the Windows login screen wasn't horrendous, but it was when I then loaded into Windows and had to boot up either Epic Games or Steam and then launch their respective games. They did take longer than what I have in, say, another M.2 based system that I built on this channel with an SSD that has a DRAM controller. This SSD in particular could be the motherboard, it could be the SSD, but it was just slow for an M.2 SSD. I was not a fan of it. Also, this case is atrocious. You're pretty much not gonna get any fresh airflow into this case. This front panel is completely solid and there's only one insert down here for airflow, even though it has two cutouts for two 120mm fans. So not great. And the top here, completely covered off because you have a top mounted power supply, as you can tell from this cable right here. So you have no exhaust fans, no fans here at the bottom for intake, just one single exhaust fan. Thermally, this is a very terrible case to get. Never get anything that has a top mounted power supply that is covered off like this. And I'd certainly say this PC is not cool. No, you're gonna have to probably rip off the front panel here for airflow, which yeah, you're gonna have to do that. This case is so old, you could almost fit a 5.25-inch drive here at the front, actually, if you look right there. Also, did I mention how like cheap this case feels? You can toss this case around so easily. The performance, I mean, it wasn't bad, but you can build a substantially better PC than this. For $764, you can build my $700 gaming PC build that I produced earlier this year, swap out the graphics card for, say, I say swap it out for an ARC A750 or a discounted RX 7600, and it'll absolutely blow this PC away as far as performance goes. Because building a custom PC that only does 1080p at, its price point, not the most impressive. There's a very suboptimal CPU in this system that I feel a lot of people will accidentally choose for their next PC build, and especially a very suboptimal graphics card to buy for its price that is clearly beaten out by other graphics cards that are much better buys than it at the same price. So overall, a very suboptimal PC that I took no care into building, which was kind of fun, but it was more or less the same as any other PC I've built before in the past, and I hope to never make one of these videos ever again. Because what am I gonna do with this? I don't want to sell it because it's just objectively bad. But I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll give it away. So that is it for this video, and if you enjoyed it, give it a like. Likes are always appreciated, and if you enjoy this kind of content, or more importantly, if you've made it to this point in the video and you stuck around, probably should subscribe. That means you like what I do here. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching, and this is the ScatterVolt channel, signing out.